He painted saints using criminals. He turned beggars into apostles and prostitutes into the Virgin Mary. His art shocked the church. His temper terrified Rome. And after killing a man, he became a fugitive, painting masterpieces while running for his life. This is the story of Caravaggio, the artist who found light in darkness. Michelangelo Merici de Caravaggio was born in 1571 in a small town near Milan, but his childhood was marked not by peace, but by death. The plague swept through his world, taking his father, his grandfather, and many around him. From an early age, Caravaggio knew loss, and perhaps this is why his art would never look away from suffering. As a young man, he traveled to Rome, a city of grandeur, power, and survival. There he struggled. He'd painted fruit, flowers, small commissions, barely enough to eat. But even then, his work was different. It was too real, too raw. In Rome, Caravaggio began to paint in a way no one had seen before. He rejected ideal beauty, the perfect bodies of Renaissance art. Instead, he painted real people, dirty feet, wrinkled skin, tired faces. He didn't paint kings as saints. He painted beggars as apostles, prostitutes as Madonnas. The people society ignored became eternal on his canvas. In Caravaggio's world, holiness was not found in perfection, but in humanity. And then he did something revolutionary. He painted with light and darkness, a technique known as chiaroscuro. Figures emerged from blackness, illuminated by a single divine light, not symbolic light, but physical, almost violent illumination. In works like The Calling of St. Matthew, a beam of light cuts through shadow as if God himself were pointing. In Judith beheading Holofernes, the moment of violence is frozen, not glorified, but undeniable. Caravaggio didn't paint heaven as distant. He brought the sacred into the streets. But not everyone saw genius in his work. Some church officials were outraged. In one painting, he used a drowned prostitute as the model for the Virgin Mary. In another, saints looked like common laborers, dirty, barefoot, human. His paintings were rejected, removed, or replaced. Yet what others saw as disrespect, Caravaggio saw as truth. But the darkness in his paintings was not only artistic. Caravaggio lived a turbulent, reckless life. He fought in the streets, insulted rivals, and carried weapons. His temper was infamous. Rome in the 1600s was a city of blades and pride. Arguments were settled not with words, but with steel. Caravaggio was not just a witness to this world, he was part of it. He was arrested multiple times for carrying illegal weapons, for assault, for throwing a plate of artichokes at a waiter. In a violent confrontation, Caravaggio killed a man named Ranuccio Tomasoni, possibly over a gambling dispute, or perhaps something deeper. He was sentenced to death. And so, the artist who painted light became a fugitive in darkness. Caravaggio fled Rome to Naples, Malta, Sicily, always moving, always looking over his shoulder. But in exile, his art changed. The light grew dimmer, shadows deeper, the emotions more human. In the beheading of St. John the Baptist, his largest work, the violence is quiet, almost resigned. And in David with the head of Goliath, he did something haunting. He painted his own face as the severed head of Goliath. It was not just a painting, it was a confession. Caravaggio longed to return to Rome, to be forgiven. He sought a papal pardon, hoping his art could redeem his life. But fate had other plans. In 1610, at the age of just 38, Caravaggio died under mysterious circumstances. Alone, exhausted, and still in exile. For years after his death, his name faded, but his influence did not. Artists across Europe, from Rembrandt to Diego Velázquez, were shaped by his vision. Today, Caravaggio is remembered not just as a painter, but as a force. A man who showed that beauty is not perfection, but truth. Light is only meaningful because of darkness. Caravaggio's life was filled with violence, fear, and contradiction. And yet, through it all, he painted something eternal. Not saints above humanity, but saints within it. Flawed, broken, real. Perhaps that is his greatest legacy, that even in darkness, light can still emerge. If you found this story meaningful, subscribe for more journeys into the lives of artists, thinkers, and visionaries. Who changed the way we see the world?